Hi, welcome to Happiness on Tap with Leanne podcast, where guests dive deep into the vulnerable experiences that contribute to their happiness. I'm Leanne Herron. I am a certified health and life coach and owner of Finding Resilience with Leanne and Happiness on Tap podcast. Today, I'm talking with Dede Walden. Dede is an entrepreneur and business owner of Dream Houses with Dede, and her husband also purchased and revitalized a long-standing business here in Albuquerque, Wild Side 2 Smoke Shop, a little over a year ago. Dede is a native to Albuquerque, and being a native has definitely benefited both of her businesses. Dede is here with me today to talk about the power of coaching and how it has changed her life. Today, we're going to talk about her prior experience of working with a coach, when and how she decided it was time to hire a coach, her experiences, expectations, and outcomes of working with a coach. Okay, so we're going to get started. Thank you to Dede for joining me today.
Thank you for that amazing introduction, Leanne.
So prior to working with a coach, what was your general knowledge or experience of working with a professional coach or a mentor?
I had none really, I guess I would say. I would say I had a mentor in a previous employment where I was there for 14 years. The owner was really my mentor in quite a few things in life and stuff, but never really a professional coach. I had attended therapy sessions on a couple of different occasions throughout my life, but never with an actual just life coach or health coach.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. So when did you start using the services of a professional coach? And can you tell us a little bit about when and how you decided it was time to hire a health and life coach?
Okay, so without going into a big old long book, I would say in November of 20, I would say about 3 years ago, I think I had a nervous breakdown and I had resigned from my 14-year career and spent a lot of time on the couch for in depression mode and was really struggling to get back into life. That was kind of when I made the decision to hire a life coach. I kind of had some sessions with Leanne off and on. Never really put my heart into it until we got really serious. October of 22, we did some smaller sessions, and then we really got serious again in April. I started real estate school in October of 22 with Coldwell Banker to go and sell houses, and that's when I really got serious about it, and we jumped right in and started doing a lot of sessions.
Great. Yeah, it was really exciting. You've had a lot of changes, but you've also had a lot of growth.
Yes.
So what are just a few areas in your life or health that you really identified as being areas that you needed or wanted to nourish in your life?
Definitely my career, my marriage, and just my self-care, I guess. Love for myself, quit beating myself up. Again, without going into my whole life story, I've had a pretty rough past and a lot of things that I've continued to beat myself up for, and learning to just be me and be a new person and be authentic and just be the best person that I am is a lot harder than anyone thinks. Really hard actually, and to not care and what other people judge you or think of you. And that's been a struggle throughout my life. I guess imposter syndrome has been a big one that we've kind of worked on, especially, when you feel more comfortable at Sturgis than you do at a conference with 1,000 people in suits, but that's your career and that's your life. you do feel like you're living imposter syndrome.
Yeah, I remember those conversations. And, I think we're all trying to reevaluate a lifetime of beliefs and thoughts and even identity that maybe we didn't choose, but now we're having to look back at those things and say, well, is this really right for me now? Or do I still believe this? Is it true? And how is it benefiting me? So just being able to kind of identify not only the areas where we need work, but identify where those old beliefs came from and what is true to you now. Just like you
Right.
said, being more comfortable at Sturgis than in a conference room.
Right.
So what are or were some of your obstacles and challenges in both your personal and professional life?
Just showing up. When I had that nervous breakdown, and that's the only way I could explain it. And there was weeks when I didn't get off the couch. People have a hard time understanding that. Like, you didn't take a shower for how many days? It's like, everybody's depth of depression is different. And I had gone through an experience where I had lost my mother a long time ago. Actually, June 1st was 15 years. And my grandmother too. I lost my grandma, and right before we moved into this house, I was able to go and pack up everything that I wanted for my grandmothers that I grew up with. And thanks to her, I was able to buy my forever home. And that November, unpacking everything of my mom's and my grandma's, incorporating it into everything that me and my husband built in 23 years. I think I just finally crashed. Everything that I'd been holding in came out.
Yes.
Sorry.
No apologies. I appreciate and honor uh, your vulnerability and sharing your story, because that's what it's about, is being able to connect with another person, um, and be able to have a level of trust in another person to share our story. So I appreciate what you're sharing, not only with me, but kind of with the world today.
Thank you. Okay, I got myself together now. It's hard going from a daughter and a granddaughter and that being everything in your life. I was an only child. My mom was an only child due to the fact that she had lost her brother at a very young age. I remember my Uncle Ricky and my grandma, so it was always us, the three musketeers. And then in a matter of 8 years, I went to being the head of the family, and I had lost my dad, my mom, my grandma. I had lost my grandfather a long time ago. And the way I grew up, when I started using drugs at such an early age, at the age of 13, I didn't have a childhood. I was a product of my environment, unfortunately, at that time, because both my parents, step parents and parents, my dad was an alcoholic, my mom and my stepdad were meth addicts. Um, it was like I was always 10 years behind mentally in life because I never had that childhood. I went straight being sticking a needle in my arm at age 15. Um, and that's my biggest success in life, is overcoming that demon. And I thank the Lord and the universe for that every day, definitely. Um, but back to what caused me just to finally feel and break down and all those emotions and everything. And that's when I decided I really needed help to get over my laziness, my beating myself up. And I'm still struggling. I just feel like my heart's just not 110% into any aspect of my life like it used to be. And that's something that we're continuing to work on.
We absolutely are. And as each
I'm
session
sorry, I'm gonna vape.
progresses, we, we dig a little deeper, or we identify a different
I
area.
lost your sound.
Um,
I
I'm
lost. There you
unmuted.
go.
Okay.
You came back on.
So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that we're still working on. But that is, part of coaching. It isn't a one and done. It's not a Band-Aid or a pill that you can take. It is actually getting people to do the work and do the deep work, like ask ourselves the hard questions and be able to sit with those answers, but also knowing that you have a coach who is holding space for you while you sit with those answers and can help give you skills and tools. And so that kind of leads into my next question is what skills and tools have you developed through working with a coach?
Um, for one, I do want to admit that I don't put in 100% of the work because, again, like I said, my heart hasn't been into a lot of things, and I know that I could probably be having a lot more success with the services Leanne has provided if I was giving 100%. But a lot of the skills that I've learned is definitely to breathe, um, to be content, with the life that I built, with me, to look in the mirror and really love that person that's looking back at me. Um, I have better sleeping habits. I'm getting on more of a routine. I struggle with that. If anybody knows me, whoever's watching this, if you know me, you know I'm not a morning person. I have never been a morning person. um, Recognizing my feelings and my emotions and actually embracing them instead of trying to
Push them down?
yeah. I was trying to think of a different word, but that's exactly, yeah. And learning that the only thing I can control in life, whether it comes to interaction with people in my career, my husband, life events, is my reaction. That has helped me the most, especially in my marriage. Been with my husband, we'll be celebrating 20 years this October. We've been together 23 since January of 2020 or 2000, I mean. And that's a full-time job. Um yeah, Leanne's been great, and I find myself reaching out to her more than I should quite a bit just to share my successes all the time when I reach a little baby goal or something. One of the greatest memories of my coaching with Leanne, and that really lifted me, was when she was like, do you remember when you set this goal? You set this goal on this day, and you achieved it. It's like when I first did have my first closing. And she was like, oh my God, look. And I would have never, because I had never written those goals down, I would have never realized that I had did it. And my second one, she's like, you said you're going to do another one in 30 days and you did it. You know, she's always there pushing me. And it's, I don't have anybody else like that. And it's amazing. That's why life coaches are amazing.
Thank you so much. And yeah, I definitely want to, spend a little bit of time celebrating you. We do this at the beginning of every session. And it is something that I think when you start with the positive, you don't focus on the negative. You kind of stay on that energized. Oh my goodness, I didn't even realize. And this has been such an amazing week. And it helps propel you forward to the next thing you're looking forward to, the next meeting that,
Right.
um, so what would you say out of the skills and tools you've developed, like breathing, um, having a meditation practice, what are what are you doing now? Even in the times when we are not together doing a session, but what are you doing to put these skills and tools into play in your everyday life?
One of the biggest things I think I did recently in my everyday life is, with me going through my own depression and stuff the last 3 years, my son has struggled also, of course, with COVID also in school, and both of us became couch potatoes quite a bit. is we made a list of chores for us to mark off of every day. And I actually have 3 lists. He has one, just actual chores. Mine, I have chores. Then I have a business list, either for the real estate or for the shop. And then I have a personal list, which it might be meditation, read, watch a podcast or something. And I've been trying to mark off one thing off of each list a day. And I'm trying to celebrate my little wins. Like, even if I only get one thing off that list, I celebrate that instead of beating myself up for not getting all 3 things off my list. That's been a struggle for me. Not beating myself up for not doing what I should be doing, I guess. Repeat the question again. There's so much
Um,
that I'm
what
working
are
with.
you doing to put these skills in play in your everyday life? So
Okay,
that's
so
one of them, having a calendar and being more
right.
organized.
Yes, I definitely got to be more organized just on everyday life. And I know once I get my house together, once I get me, everything else will start floating. I also recently just downloaded your program. You did a new 7-day transformation challenge guide, which is meditation and affirmations. Which is something that I love and I know I benefit from. Um, and I don't know why I have such a block on it right now. I think the last couple of times I tried to meditate, I uh I just have a hard time with the monkey brain. I have a hard time stopping my mind. So I'm definitely going to stick to this. I didn't start it this week. I wanted to start it today, but our schedule was all messed up because of the 4th and stuff. Because I really want to set that 1 hour in the morning that I have right when my husband leaves for work, that I have some quiet time. I did order me a cool new chair for my bedroom. I'm setting me up a little meditative state in my bedroom because I can actually shut the door. I
Nice.
love I love my office and my living room and the rest of my house, and I'm really comfortable. And I always thought this would be my little zen room. But if the mailman comes, the dogs go crazy. There's always interruptions. So I need to be able to
Mm-hmm.
go somewhere where I could just shut down. So that's when I'm going to start this. Hopefully, by Monday, I'm going to have my little room set up, so I'll be able to start that. And yeah, I definitely need to incorporate more of what you're all about with like the meditation and the affirmations. I've seen how you've utilized it in your own life, and that's where my stumbling is right now. That I'm really working on.
And not everything works for everyone. Um, but it is, acknowledging the things that we are able to do, even the smallest step. Um, you're not in a race with anyone or competition with anyone. Um, it's with yourself. And so if you spend the time focusing on your wins and less time on the things you didn't get to,
Mhm.
you're already changing how you feel about things. Um, Having a list has really helped you in the time that we've been working together, and giving you solid action steps.
Right.
Um, and you have ticked off so many of the things since we got started. That's why I try to spend a little bit of time just to celebrate you and the things that you have accomplished, because you have accomplished a lot. Um, we started when you were brand new to real estate. On our first session, you mentioned it briefly. Your goal was to sell your first house in 90 days. And at 71 days, you had a client under contract and everything was moving forward. And it was so beautiful because it is such a hard market for people to get in. But with your prior work experience and the fact that you are native here to Albuquerque, and you do have a new amazing mentor um, that you get to learn from, and as well as take the time to look at your career and what it means, because the definitions of career have greatly changed because of COVID.
Yeah.
people working from home, people not working in the office, or the guilt. I know was something you really struggle with, the guilt about, do I need to be in the office all the time? And it's a different career. It doesn't require sitting in an office like property management did as much.
Right. I've
Um,
never had a job where, and a big eye opener for me was this last week when I got my year-to-date statement. Because I've had 4 closings, I've had 4 buyers. So in 6 months, I have literally made $30,000 from my couch. I mean, yeah, some appointments.
Celebrate that.
I know. So why do I beat myself up so bad, coach? But yeah, the sky's the limit. And like I did 2 open houses last weekend, and I got another one I'm doing out in Los Lunas on Saturday, so, and that's where I meet the clients. And I'm really learning to just be myself and be me and just be. 2 years ago, if you would ask me what I wanted, I would have told you just to learn how to be. Just be. And people look at you like, but it's a big thing.
It's a big
Just
thing.
be comfortable in your skin, be content, be happy, um, be in love with yourself,
Be in the
and
moment.
I challenge anybody. I mean, really, what is your why? That is a hard question. That is a hard question. What is your why? And Leanne has helped me with that too. And I've tried to do some of the bigger Mel Robbins and Brene Brown challenges and stuff like that. And I don't know, I like it more with a personal one-on-one because they hold you accountable. Those other ones I could read it or
Not.
print up the workbooks and stuff, and it's just going to sit there in a pile because Leanne's on my butt like, hey, did you start, where are you at, what are we talking about today, so that is definitely a plus when you're like me and you need that little poke.
Yeah, accountability is definitely probably one of
I've never had it.
the one of the best, I think, aspects of coaching. Because we
Definitely.
all struggle with being accountable to ourselves in that way. We can
Mhm.
start something, but we don't always finish it.
Right.
Um, so do you see yourself 5 years in the future, continuing to utilize the services of a coach or a mentor in both your personal and professional life?
Absolutely, I do, because I think self-growth is an ongoing thing. Especially getting old's not for the weak. And
It's
especially
not.
for women with the menopause and no one understands, men don't understand. But there's so much changing in just the way my brain processes stuff, the way I think, the way I react to things, my physical health, my body, everything. And I definitely believe that the universe is opening up some doors for me to in some careers plus real estate, that I could just live with my heart and lead with my heart. And that was my biggest weakness in property management, is I had a heart too big of a heart. And I'm so blessed that that's kind of my why, is just to spread kindness, and just to grow. And I've always loved making people smile and just spreading kindness and being kind. And I believe that now that I've understand that that's my why, that the universe is bringing me opportunities and careers, where I can do that.
Give you the path to do that.
At the same time, be able to support my family and provide for my grandchildren someday. That's my why. So Leanne has helped me figure that, and I couldn't have figured that out without Leanne, definitely.
Thank you. So real quick, if you knew somebody who was considering looking for a coach or curious about what coaching is, maybe somebody overheard you talking to someone else at an event or a function, or even somebody that, watches this video and podcast, what would be 2 things that you would want them to know about working with a coach?
One, if they're struggling in any aspect of their life, they definitely should consult a coach. And two, a coach and a therapist or a counselor is two different things. So don't let that stigma stop you from talking to a coach. If you, I'm gonna just throw out three just because that was this one just goes right with it. If definitely if you're looking for anything or you feel you have an emptiness in your life anywhere but you can't figure out what it is, schedule a free session with any life coach. You know what I mean? Leanne offers one, I'm sure others do too, but just because they're going to ask you the right questions to help you maybe figure out what you're missing in life.
Thank you so much. I want to, invite you back for a future episode. We can discuss your review of the 7-day transformation challenge, if you'd be willing to do that.
Yes.
And maybe just, continue to talk about some of the benefits of coaching. I want to thank you so much, Dede, for being so vulnerable and sharing your story and your experiences with working with a coach. Where can people find you if people are considering moving to our beautiful city, looking to buy their forever home, maybe considering an investment property? How can people find you? Where's the best place to find you?
Oh, now you got me going to work stuff. I'm not prepared for that. I'm just kidding.
Oh, I
You
got
can find
you.
me. You can find me on Facebook, of course, under Dede Starkweather Walden or Dream Homes with Dede. You can find me at Coldwell Banker Legacy. I work at the Paseo office. If you look on their website, and then you could just meet your brokers and find Google Dede Walden, and my website will pop up there. I don't have the actual website on the top of my mind because you caught me off guard, but I think it is walden.dd@cbllegacy.com. But other than that, definitely Facebook is the place to be.
All right. Thank you so much, Dede. I appreciate your time, your vulnerability, and for sharing your experiences with all of us. And we look forward to having you back on our show.
Awesome. Maybe next time I won't be so nervous and it'll be a little better.
I think we were both great. Thank
All
you
right.
so
Thank you
much.
so much, Leanne, and I'll be talking to you soon.
Absolutely.
All right. Bye.